Hi everyone, I'm Haley at Neuhaus. Today we're going to talk about handwriting during the Reading Readiness Advanced Schedule lesson. If you're looking at your reading routine, hopefully something like this or like this is posted in your classroom, notice that handwriting is the fourth component of a Reading Readiness Advanced Schedule and it's going to take about 5 minutes. Remember to refer to one of these two schedules during your instruction. It keeps teacher on track, it keeps students on track. When we're looking in our Reading Readiness Read Manual, handwriting is the very last tab, and there's a whole bunch of activities back there, and the stroke descriptions are there for you to use. What's the purpose of teaching handwriting? Specifically, why do we teach students how to sit when they're writing, how to hold their pencil, the different stroke descriptions? Why are we so specific? Well, it's all about helping students become fluent and automatic writers. If they're concentrating on where does my pencil go, or do I go up or down, or does this letter go below the line or not, they're not able to fluently get their ideas on paper. We want handwriting to be automatic. What materials do you need when you're thinking about a handwriting lesson? Well, it depends what kind of activity you're going to be doing with your students. If you're doing skywriting, all you will need is something at the front of the room, chart paper, whiteboard, smartboard, where you can write a large model of the letter. If students are doing a tracing activity, you're going to need something like carpet squares, paper, dried glue, or another medium that has some texture on it for students to trace. If you're doing a trace and copy, each student will need their own piece of paper. On one side, it's going to have the letter with an arrow, and on the other side, just the arrow. What do I need to read before I teach or think about before I teach? Well, really, you just need to have a strong understanding of the stroke descriptions of the letter you're teaching. And you also need to have a really strong understanding of the skywriting procedure. The stroke descriptions are listed in the handwriting section of the manual on page 1. The skywriting procedure, a detailed layout of that procedure, is in the multisensory letter introduction section on page 2. During this part of the lesson, the teacher is going to be guiding the students in the handwriting activity. There's 3 activities listed in our Reading Readiness Manual. If you want to use a different activity that you could do for practice that's given to you through a different program that your school uses, that's fine. But the point is we need to make sure that kids are learning handwriting in a multisensory way, that it's both visual, oral, and kinesthetic. This part of the lesson, again, takes about 5 minutes. Students should have plenty of time to get lots of practice in for their letters. Also think about this. We want to only make sure we're having students practice letters that have been introduced already. So you're going to have students practice letters with handwriting that you've already introduced with multisensory letter introduction. Remember, this part of the lesson only takes 5 minutes, and students are going to be participating based on the activity you give them. If you have any more questions, you can always look in your Reading Readiness Manual in the handwriting section.